3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast, episode 150, sorry, 121. Like 50, we're almost 50s, 121.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Hey, Aunt, you made it to the show, and this is, of course, Edgardo Acosta.
And I'm Ramon, and every single week we bring you the best Geek and Tech news. We discuss that news, and of course anything else that we're happen to be interested in that weekend. This week we're going to talk about a couple things.
Yeah, in Geek News this week, we'll talk about Redhead sitcom, the Batman tribute, E3 announcements so far.
Yep, and of course we're going to give a shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook Live. In this case, it is just Hans Limu. Hey man,
So,
happy Father's Day to you too, buddy.
Day. So it's going to be some good stuff going on. And
Absolutely, we're going to begin the show though with, of course, Geek News. And one of the few stories that's not E3 related this week is going to talk about the redheaded sitcom, as I call it. It's actually called a new British sitcom called Sick Note, following some very famous redheaded people, including Rupert Grint's, or as you may know him, Ron Weasley. He plays a young man, an insurance rep, and a compulsive liar who's wrongly diagnosed with a fatal disease. And he finds that once he tells his friends, they're all surprisingly nicer to him because they think he won't be around very long.
sympathy.
Yep, so it also stars Lindsay Lohan and Nick Frost, if you might remember him from Shaun of the Dead and a bunch of those type of films.
The fat guy.
The fat guy of the two.
Sorry
yeah.
to say. But,
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. He's also a ginger, though.
Yeah.
At least for the
really?
beard, yeah.
I was gonna
Look at the
say,
picture. Beard-wise, he's a ginger. The rest of his head, though, oddly brownish, which is not uncommon, apparently.
Ginger in the mouth.
Yep. Now, the other part of that sitcom is, of course, that Rupert is not actually dying. It was a misdiagnosis, and he has to decide whether or not he's going to tell his friends if he's not actually dying, or just enjoy them being actually nice to him for once.
That's true. Story-wise, when you hear about somebody that has some kind of complication, disease, wise, quote-unquote, handicap, if you will, some people just kind of like, oh, feel bad, you should be nice to this guy. But don't get me wrong, there's some people that are assholes that are like in wheelchairs and shit like that. And that's just because of their personality, not because of the quote-unquote cards that they were dealt with in life. But it's like, I love these comedians that could kind of not necessarily laugh at their own like quote-unquote handicap and stuff, but they could just find the humor in things and just like, fuck it, this is what I was dealt with, and then just roll with it.
A lot of great comedians have taken the things that other people see as faults,
Tragedies.
whether it's race, bad things happen to them, their outward body appearance, and turned it to their own benefit, or at least make jokes about it, so as a kind of defense mechanism, and that's a way of dealing with that kind of stuff, and maybe not the healthiest way, but it is a way that makes them money at least. Can't beat that.
I was gonna say better than scam artists because I hate scam artists. Don't get me wrong.
Unless it's Scam School, which is a wonderful show I believe on the internet that teaches you how to avoid scams.
Yeah, like there's like those hardship kind of homeless folk, dying whatever homeless vet kind of deal. Like, oh, here's a couple bucks or whatnot. But then there's people that they're not dying homeless vets or whatever, so they're just taking whatever pocket change they can, or they'll give you some kind of fake sob story. One kind of scam that I see, not necessarily on a regular, but see is the person with the little gas can. Hey man, I just need a couple bucks just so I could get home. Blah 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 blah. And the worst part is I've had that same person hit me up for money. Not that same day, but the very following day. I'm like, really, you didn't get home by now? Then he's like, realized he got caught. He's like, never mind.
It's not
man.
illegal.
Suddenly they'll be dicks to you. They'll be like, fuck you, whatever, asshole. I gotta do what I gotta. I'm like, but
Did that happen recently to you? Is that what the
no,
thing is?
not recently, but it's happened.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
happened.
I think it's happened to everybody at some point.
It's quote unquote the hustle. I understand. I get it. I might not have to like it, but I get it. Compared to there's of course real hardcore situations where you are literally dying of cancer and stuff, and your hearts go out to, like, with me, of course, it's always going to be kids. Kids at like children's hospitals and stuff. But then there's people that use their kids to once again to quote unquote hustle, and the kids don't know. They just they just go with it. They're like, all right, mommy wants me to ask that man for $1. Okay.
Oh, that's very true. And again, happy Father's Day to everybody who's out there listening to the show at this point.
Honestly, but go and stick to the main thing. I didn't realize it was the Ron Weasley guy. I thought what was the other one? Is it Simon? Okay, that guy.
Simon Pegg's best. The other guy's Simon Pegg
and Nick Frost. Okay.
Yeah, Nick Frost.
Yeah, I thought it was Simon Pegg with just donning a different hairstyle, but
you thought Simon Pegg had lost some weight and gotten all ginger.
Look a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of looks good for him. But I was surprised to see also Lindsay Lohan. She kind of cleaned herself up. It looks like she's.
We'll see if she makes it to the show or not.
Not doing as much cocaine as she used to.
Maybe she's just a famous guest star that they have.
What do you think?
Or the love interest.
What do you think? Accent or no British accent? Since especially it's going to be in British sitcom.
I'm hoping she's not going to try the British accent.
Not
she can just be the weird American.
Awkward American in the British world.
Why not? I mean, hey, it's. Yeah. I don't think anybody expects her to suddenly have a British accent.
I'll give it a shot
on the BBC show.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next topic is the X-Men.
Yeah. Both. Let me read the story and I'll give you my opinion on it. All right. X-Men: The Dark Phoenix begins shooting in a month, and already we know the director Simon Kinberg wants this to be far from more faithful to the original comic book story by Chris Claremont than his last attempt at doing the Dark Phoenix saga, the not so beloved X-Men Last Stand. The folks at that hashtag show via the comic book movie have gotten their hands on the casting call for the lead and supporting roles for the new film. And although the names have been given for the characters are code names, they almost always are with these kind of movies. The descriptions pretty much give it away for these characters really are if you are ready versus the Uncanny X-Men comics. Okay, let me go to this. If your guesses are correct, this will be most widely ambitious X-Men movie due date, and it will not only introduce the cosmic outer space element of the world to the Shi'ar Empire, but also reintroduces the Hellfire Club and seemingly introduced to the Savage Land.
Yep. So some interesting people coming in. Rogue, some Savage Land people, of course, and some Shi'ar Empire people. So there you go. That's it.
Obviously, they get to expand the X-Men universe. So obviously, Savage Land, you're going to see Khazar. At least for the at least for the Shi'ar Empire, of course, Lalandra. I don't know if they'll show Deathbird, because Deathbird is most likely the villain.
I was thinking, who do you think the big villain's going to be?
If it's not Deathbird, I think it has to be her, especially if you're going the cosmic route.
Well, I was thinking I guess for the Shi'ar Empire.
Yeah, and especially if you're dealing with Jean becoming the Dark Phoenix,
the Hellfire Club.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because
that's a lot of people to put into one movie, though.
Exactly.
Feels like they should at least do 2 or 3 movies at least. And quick shout out to Danny Martinez. Hey man, E3 is indeed done. We're gonna talk about all the great trailers that we saw. He saw most of them live. Yeah. I just picked up on the good trailers myself.
Yeah, Mr. Danny was actually there himself.
Oh, really?
Doing a lot of the work.
Well, see, we should have had you as a correspondent reporter for the podcast, Danny. Yeah. And we could have had you take some photos for us, some videos, and we could have helped expense it out for you.
Yeah. But going back to X-Men, I'm just glad it's not Bryan Singer, but this X-Men universe, like all the other X-Men things, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
I'm going to watch it.
The last movie was a little jinky. It wasn't that as awesome as the ones that came before it, like the Days of Future Past, or was the one before that one?
Apocalypse?
No, Apocalypse was the bad one.
Days Futures Past.
And the one in the 70s, one in the 60s, one in the 70s, and Apocalypse was not that awesome. Not that awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give it a shot. Maybe someday.
Is there someone you would like to see in this film?
Character-wise?
Yeah.
Let's see. Especially dealing with the Dark Phoenix. Oh, you know what?
Mr. Sinister?
Well, Sinister for the villain, for sure. But, it's been tapped, but I guess remember they canceled it, and I don't know if this is going back in the roots. Remember Mr. What's his name? Chatham Tatum, whatever his name?
Yeah, for Gambit, you mean?
Yeah, remember
Yeah, no, that's been off and on. They have been a hard time finding a director. They keep leaving the project for better movies, basically.
Realizing it's a piece of shit.
Or, the fact that they're can actually make a movie sometime in the next couple of years instead of just sitting on this project empty-handed.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's also because that's always the trade of like, oh, I could be part of this potentially good film in like 3 years when they get their act together, or I can go do something that's exciting now and that's filming like in the next couple months because their films, they have their cast, they have their crew, they have the script already ready, and I don't blame them for abandoning ship.
Oh yeah,
and something that may not come to fruition.
I still would be totally okay.
Days of Future Past.
I would be totally okay with Marvel, of course, getting the rights back so Disney can have a crack at it and do it proper. Because I would love that universe. Because I know I think it will happen, but I don't know. Hopefully within our lifetime. But an X-Men versus Avengers movie would be amazing.
Yes, I doubt that's ever going to happen. I don't think that at this point that they're even acknowledging mutants in the regular Marvel universe because they don't own the word for it. Fox owns that with the X-Men movies.
I think it's going to be a prime example that hopefully once Spider-Man Homecoming comes out, maybe they'll just
like it's profitable to work well with others.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll see. Although Deadpool has gotten some of the X-Men, for the first movie, and recently the actor Ryan Reynolds sent out a post for like the beginning of their filming for Deadpool 2 in front of the X-Men mansion again. So you're going to see more, obviously, X-Men characters working with Deadpool. So that's always nice. A nice sign of like potential alliances as long as there's money to be made.
Totally. Especially, let's see. I want to see, well, depending how much characters they put out, like Deadpool's X-Men universe, I think would be great. Even though he teased it repeated amount of times with having Hugh Jackman as, of course, Wolverine.
Yeah,
but
why not?
We'll see how that ever goes. Even as a cameo,
different companies working together. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully it'll all be good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last story that's non-E3 related is going to be a semi-sad one.
Aww.
We have the citizens of Los Angeles give a mighty tribute this past week to Adam West, who's best known for playing the 1960s television series Batman on that sometimes considered campy television show. City Hall in Los Angeles sent out an iconic bat signal out of respect for the actor who died on June the 9th at 88 after a battle with leukemia. Out there was also the 1966 Batmobile with the Bat fire extinguisher and the Bat phone. There were plenty of fans who congregated around to honor the actor and his characters, including people in cosplay. Burt Ward came out as well. Ralph Garman went out as well to kind of just say a few words and to honor the actor in front of in this event. Mm-hmm. So it's nice that it took such a long time for him to kind of be recognized as a great actor. To even get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah.
And he was always considered very typecast in that role because his face was both Bruce Wayne and that 1966 Batman. Mm-hmm. And so in death, at least, he's being honored and remembered the way he should have probably in life.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work out for his, of course, it's up to the family of if he's going to be laid to rest anywhere or cremated or anything like that. But I can only imagine the tombstone. I don't know if they would like to give him like the Batman logo or anything on that on the tombstone.
Why not? I mean, who's going to stop him?
Preference, but that's depending on it.
DC's going to come and like just strike you down in the middle of the night or something?
Who knows?
Yeah, right.
You ever watch, did you watch the thing, even caught on the news, just a little bit of it and whatnot?
You mean the actual event?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it because we don't have cable television in my house. Yeah. That's why he's asking.
I saw it.
But I saw it on the internet, pictures of the bat signal.
Yeah. What I liked / didn't like about it, which is kind of cool, they did have even like the mock red phone, like the Batman, bat line. They did have the, what would you call it, the spotlight projector kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I guess it was a mock-up because it was like the projector was there, even though it had the Batman logo and whatnot, and they walked up to it. But the actual bat signal
came from somewhere else,
from
right?
Other night.
Yeah. Well, because they couldn't. It wasn't cloudy enough that day to show it in the sky.
No.
But like the one on the building, yeah.
No. I mean, to project it on the building, I totally understand.
Yeah.
But it didn't come from the bottom one. Though.
No, it came from some
different location.
That's a separate one. Yeah, the one on the bottom was just for a show.
Yeah.
The same way it would be in an actual movie.
Yeah.
And Danny Martinez in the chat room asks, Cable, Bishop, Wolverine 4 V? I don't know what that last one is, man, but that is going to be announced in the movie. We already have Cable and Deadpool inside of the Deadpool movie, so we got those two people. Bishop, I don't know that Bishop has ever been seen on film ever.
Yes.
Has he been?
Days of the Future Past. He was in it. Black dude, dreadlocks.
I don't
Yeah, that
recall.
gun.
Oh no, you mean like the very like when they went back into the future?
Yeah.
He must have died like very quickly because I remember a lot of people. I just don't remember like a big, huge black guy with dreadlocks, to be honest. But I'm always thinking of like the animated series version of Bishop, like this hulking, big
buff,
dude. Yeah.
I don't call it Jerry curl, but he had that really long hair.
Yeah, he had like that '80s popular style
Yeah,
kind of
the
hairdo, but
mullet.
also like the big, big gigantic future gun.
Yeah.
So I have to watch it because I don't remember him in that section.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously mistaken. Wolverine, man, Wolverine would be great, but he's also pretty expensive, I think, to get in as a cameo in Deadpool. To be honest, Cable I can understand. Even Bishop, they're less expensive characters because nobody knows them as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who V is, but V for Vendetta.
No.
No, number 5.
Comic franchise now.
Yeah.
But anyways, as for the Batman thing, it was gonna be great. Once again, I don't know if they're gonna have his own little
It was nice.
little section.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
I mean it was just nice. I'm sure people remember him finally, and as a greater actor now, and that's all we can ever ask for in life, that people remember us.
Yeah. The biggest line that I did watch, because it was like a really small eulogy. Did you listen to Babylon?
Oh yeah, that was so sad.
Yeah, because you heard him cry.
You heard Ralph Garman, who's a close
were
friend of Adam West on Hollywood Babylon, which is the podcast that him and Kevin Smith do on a weekly basis. Him just talking about his experience with Adam West as both as a fan and also as later on in his life as a friend and working with him to get that Hollywood Walk of Fame star. And he was just crying on stage left and right, and it was very touching to see to see someone remember their friend and hero, basically. So I'm like, I get it. It was very nice though.
Just want to say hi to Edith. Hi, Edith.
Edith Wolf and the Charm.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to you as well.
So yeah, it's gonna be. It was so sad because I like how you described it. He was like, as somewhat of a child or at least younger, I idolized him as his hero. Then to become friends with your hero, even
and to see that he's actually better than the character that you ever fell in love with, and
The biggest line that I loved tonight, because I guess they had a show that didn't work out with him. With AMC. He did a great impression, and I love hearing Adam West curse. So he's like, "Fuck AMC." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Because
when
when they told him the show's not going to go through, and Ralph Garman had to call up Adam West and tell him, "Sorry, man, our show didn't happen, so we're not going to be doing that."
He's like, "You know what? Fuck AMC."
Because Adam would have been like a long time used to being rejected by that point in his career. Like, I mean, most of his exactly, and that's kind of the best advice you can give to someone who's disappointed by real Hollywood.
Yeah, just be happy with who you are and what.
At this point, I would think Ralph Garman would be. I think he kind of has it already. Like, I've done enough of these editions that I recognize that this stuff happens.
Totally.
And I kind of like the Kevin Smith approach. No one's gonna pay you to make the thing you want to do. Go make it yourself.
There you go.
You know what I mean? He does it with his movies. He does it with his podcast. I did the same. I take the philosophy and I do this podcast and we do this podcast, and I wrote a book because nobody was going to pay me to do it. So you pay yourself, man, and that's kind of the best advice as far as creatively.
Do what you love.
Yeah, and maybe you can make a buck and a living at it if you're lucky.
All right.
There you go. So that's all our non-E3 stuff. We're going to move on to our E3 announcements and just go over all the great trailers and announcements that came out of E3 this whole past week. It started on Saturday with who was it? Microsoft.
I think Microsoft kicked it off. Then eventually was PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation, Nintendo.
Couple game
Sony,
people
of
like
course.
Ubisoft and all
yeah,
that.
Yeah, Ubisoft, Bethesda, all those the guys who are actual game companies did throughout the entire week. And ended, I believe, on Thursday. But they had a bunch of big shows. I think Bethesda had like a Fallout themed hallway experience that you can go on.
Yeah.
Including VR version of Doom where you could put on the goggles and be a first-person Doom player, or a VR for Skyrim. Same, all this great stuff we'll talk about in a minute.
So we're going to go over the titles. If anything, you guys, any questions, anything that we bring up, let us know, because of course we're going to give you
absolutely. Anybody in the chat room who's excited about something in particular, let us know. We'll chat about it a little bit more, but we'll be playing the trailers for a lot of this stuff if you're excited about it. We'll start off with Microsoft. Microsoft came out of the gate first. They had a huge announcement with the new Xbox, formerly called Project Scorpio. It is a beefed up version of the Xbox One called the Xbox One X for Extreme. That's what I think it's for myself. And it's going to be $499, which is an amazingly high price tag
Well, compared to when the first Xbox One came out, it was like
Yes, but
almost
still,
$600.
this is. I mean, compared to what you can get for it and what's out currently,
Yeah.
it. I'm not sure if it makes sense or not. Personally, I mean, it is more powerful. Nobody doubts the specs that they put out. I believe it's something like 9 terahertz or something teraflops of processing data,
Yeah.
and like the Sony PlayStation 4 only has something like 6 or something or 3. I can't recall, but it's like it was much larger as far as the made up thing they call teraflops. I assume
words.
it's made up words.
The phalange of technology.
Yeah. Just a way to describe processing power, apparently.
Exactly.
Just for video game consoles.
Extreme phalange.
Yeah, they couldn't go with hertz anymore, apparently.
Yeah.
But it is a much more powerful machine. The question is, what game out there is going to be utilizing it?
The only thing, especially when they showed at least an example of the gaming technology, at least graphic-wise, of course, is Forza. Forza always comes out with really insanely great-looking, realistic.
But was there like a noticeable appreciation between Forza on the Xbox One X and on the Xbox One? Was the side-by-side comparison, was there a graphical noticeable difference? Is the question I have for you. Because if it was just as good on the One than on the Xbox One X, then like nothing is really taking advantage of it.
Exactly. But the thing is, especially with the Xbox One X, what they're really hitting on, not just because of the graphics, you have to have a 4K television.
Otherwise, it's a waste. Yeah.
Yeah,
entirely.
because don't get me wrong, you have a great system, but if you don't have a great TV to watch it on,
that would be like having like the best, processing power ever, the highest end computer, and just having like an old like black and white monitor. It just there's no point because you don't get the resolution that it's meant to get. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Even beyond 4K, I'd say 8K, 12K. Those like super expensive, like $5,000 or to $20,000 television screens would probably be a better use of it. The only thing I can say personally, as far as I'm guessing, what this thing would be useful for would be virtual reality. I mean, virtual reality takes a ton of processing power. All vodka here, folks.
I wish.
Hans Lima's in the chat room says, "Hey, no drinking on the air.
Let's make this show fun."
Yeah, that would be an awesome. I say Patreon subscribers, if you want to see us drink on the air. It's totally legal. Nobody stops us. Legal. Yeah, we can do shots every time somebody comments. That would be like the best drinking game.
Catch me slurring and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice drinking game. But yeah, back to the topic of the Xbox One. Yeah, that would for me seem to be the only case scenario that it makes sense, because instead of buying a $2,000 computer, $500 console, same processing power, specified for virtual reality, that kind of makes sense.
That was always been my thing with games. Game consoles. You can have a great system, most powerful, whatever that you claim to have, but if you don't have any games to back it up,
exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of where the Nintendo Switch is currently. They have one great game, the Zelda game. And that's kind of it. Like that. I mean, that's holding people over, I think, till the end of the year when a lot of their other games come, like Mario Odyssey. But like that was kind of it for now. I mean, there are some other smaller games that are okay, but Zelda's definitely holding everybody over.
I'm gonna get more into Nintendo when we cover Nintendo.
Right now, we have a bunch of games on Microsoft. We're gonna read them off to you, and you tell me which ones you were excited about. For example, we have Metro Exodus, State of Decay 2, Black Desert, Cuphead, which comes out September finally. I know you're excited about that one. Crackdown 3, Shadow of War, and Anthem. Did you know all these games are? Did you watch all these trailers?
I actually watched the trailers.
Good. Any of them you're excited for?
Cuphead. The real reason I only went over Cuphead is because I seen the first version. I think it was last year's E3.
Yeah.
They were just kind of giving it little slims. I guess you're going to have an option of either playing the game in black and white or not. Because when they first came out, it was in black and white. Then when I saw the Cuphead video release of it, they colorized it. So it's still the old school black and white, old school like the Steamboat Willie kind of cartoony kind of style.
Yeah.
It is a 2-player game. It's actually independent, so I don't think it's going to come out in actual disc form. So I think it's just going to be I think it's just going to be a download. Because that's the other thing about games now. You really don't even have to buy a disc anymore.
No. The only reason to buy a disc is like if you have multiple profiles on your console, it'll let you play it on any of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like your digital downloads are usually only for like one profile that you do.
But my main thing with Cuphead in general, it just looks like an overall fun game. And that's, to me, that's all it's been. So you see, very, very Mickey Mouse. Only difference is he just doesn't have the ears. But it's old school cartoony. You think you're watching an old school black and white cartoon, but that's the actual game. That's the actual gameplay. So I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to totally download it. I don't care. And the price is reasonable. If I'm right, I think I checked out the pre-order for it. I think it's about $20. For $20 for a really awesome game, I'm totally going to get it. I'm just hopefully, to me, when it comes to gaming, the control is nice and fluid. You know, I don't have to like button mash, or I'm stuck, or I can't bust any moves, or hopefully it doesn't go the route of Mighty Number 9. But as for the other games graphically, great looking. Details, you'll start seeing some things.
Anything exciting for you though besides Cuphead?
Cuphead. Let's see, for Xbox, me personally,
That's the one you have. I would think these would be the ones you're most excited about.
Yeah, well, to me, the only thing that's came on, and it's going to be for the other systems too, is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity.
Okay, you read that a little bit later, but that's a very pretty game. I'm a little disappointed by the type of characters they have. But it's nice to have another Capcom game.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I felt that was missing. Capcom was one of the greatest game makers out there, and there's still so much things that they could put out, even sequels to their old school games, unless they decide to kill it off. There's so many things that be coming out. You know, one thing that I noticed that I felt like was missing from E3 also is Rockstar. Rockstar does also a bunch of games, like of course the GTA. The one game that supposedly got held back was that Red Dead.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead. No,
that's supposed to come out this year, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out. I think, well, not earlier this year, but now they posted it till like coming out later. Yeah. So that's another one that once again, to me, gaming companies are missing out, that they're not putting out their good stuff. I don't know why. Unless, heaven forbid, they failed and they went under. And
well, I think it's more along like keeping moderate expectations. Like you don't want to overhype your product and then it comes out flatter. Maybe it'll still be a good game, but if it doesn't reach that same level of hype expectations, people complain because they're expecting something better than the good product that you have.
And don't get me wrong, there's overplaying certain games and whatnot, but at least for me personally, for the Xbox, Cuphead for sure, just because it looks fun and amazing. I wish I would see some more stuff from Capcom, Rockstar for sure, or even a new, just something new.
Well, there are some that are very new here, actually. I would go with Black Desert is an MMO. Not that amazing, to be honest. But let's see. Anthem. Anthem probably is the one that I like the best.
One thing that I just recently saw that a little trailer for, and I don't think it was covered on E3, at least to the best of my knowledge, I don't think it was. Age of Empires. We were kind of talking about it a little earlier. This is just an old school game that I personally liked. It was the first semi-PC game that I got introduced to, back in the old school days. And it was fun. It was really slow, really basic, but it was fun. It was something that I really got into. And it's actually going to be available for the Xbox console and also the Microsoft Windows. One thing also that got covered a little bit on for all the gamings for all the consoles is Minecraft. Minecraft is now going to be a cross-platform game.
Well, they're just trying to cash in on everybody possible, on every single system. The gameplay itself is not that different from what it is on the PC. And on PC, you still have more options of downloading modules, a bigger player community. But it is what it is. And I don't doubt that. I just didn't think it was that exciting for me personally. But this one seemed really interesting. The sci-fi stuff from BioWare is new. You got these giant mechs, fighter robot. BioWare hasn't done anything sci-fi besides. I don't know if it's such a long time. Star Wars is probably the only one I could think of that they've done something sci-fi. And this feels very much first-person shooter more than RPG. So I think that's a new way they're branching out.
And don't you think it kind of? I felt it was a little bit of a letdown with Microsoft coming out with a brand new gaming system, but have nothing for VR or even AR.
Well, they were working with Oculus to be supportive of virtual reality. I don't know that that's still going to be the case, but maybe they're banking on making a third-party system eventually on their own. I don't know, but who knows?
We'll see. Okay, maybe next year, maybe.
Everything else on Microsoft was pretty normal. Like everything else, was like sequels. Like Shadow of War was the the one about it's that Lord of the Rings spinoff one. Yeah, and it's just a sequel of that one.
It's pretty much you have orcs on your side now.
Yeah, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2. They're all. State of Decay 2 is a zombie game. but it's more of the same with the better looking graphics. So nothing super exciting on Microsoft personally. On to Nintendo. Nintendo had a few good, interesting things. That it's finally they're saying like, oh, these are the new games that are coming out. Most of them are coming out though in 2018, not 2017. So don't hold your, don't expect anything with the exception of maybe Super Mario Odyssey, which is expected to be a Christmas game. So that comes out.
So the hat kind of got explained a little bit on that part because I didn't know what was the concept with the hat.
The hat.
All we just saw is eyeballs on the hat, and I didn't know what it consists of. So apparently he whips the hat, lands on a person, a thing, the bad guys, whatever. Then, like Mario's soul gets transferred into the body. Then the hat, the character, the thing develops a Mario mustache, so you become that person, that item. So you become the Koopa Troopa. You become, in this case, a dinosaur. You become
so his hat is part of his soul transfer?
Something like that. So that's how, it's funky. The only part is I was wondering, because, traditionally with every Mario game, he develops some kind of power, some kind of ability.
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes has like a different costume. The one that I kind of joked about, I felt like it was a little racist.
The Mexican one?
The Mexican one.
Yeah,
he literally had the sombrero, straw hat, and the serape. All it was missing was the chanclas and maracas.
Nice maracas, actually.
Because he already has the mustache, so he didn't really need that. So I wasn't sure exactly what's his ability. But according to the little game trailer, it looks like, I guess Koopa's finally trying to get Peach to marry him. And I guess Mario, once again, is trying to save her. But now that it has like an open world environment and the whole, once again, using the hat as a
thrown weapon,
yeah, like a semi-boomerang-ish kind of deal. He's what was the name of the James Bond villain, like Odd Job or something, that had like
the hat with the blade on it?
Yeah. So it's a different take on it. Like I said, he throws the hat on the villain. You become the villain. The villain develops the mustache. So then you have its abilities. So if you're the Bullet Bomb, you're the Hammer Brothers. You become pretty much anything. You become a robot. You can become a car. A bolt of electricity.
So it's just going to go into like an open world feel again, which is something new for Mario. It's usually not as open as this, and like the different ways that you can fight and attack.
My other thing I kind of like missed, especially within Mario franchises, is like Luigi. And Luigi eventually eventually got its own game, went its own route and whatnot. But you never seen like, when you die as Mario, then it's Luigi's turn to take over and become a whoever. But I guess it's all Mario. Don't get me wrong, it looks fun. It's going to be interesting, especially when you get to explore the worlds and whatnot. But nothing really sticking out there.
It looks fun. It comes out, of course, looks like October 27, 2017.
So definitely time
to
cash in for the holidays kind of deal. So, but what are the cool things about the Switch?
Anything else on the Switch that you liked?
They only showed a teaser of like...
What about Metroid?
There you go.
Okay.
I was going to say Metroid. They teased on that, but, I hopefully, especially coming out for the Switch.
I saw tons of comics that weekend about, like, Big Fat Samus, who's been like in retirement, getting heavy over the years, like trying to fit back into her costume for the console announcement. I'm like, look at you guys, you're jerks.
The Kirby game looked good. Yoshi was pretty good. My thing is,
Yoshi was this was like Yarn Yoshi, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. The Yarn console was pretty good.
Yeah, no actual gameplay footage in this trailer, just the number 4.
I thought it was like Fantastic Four.
No,
then it showed Metroid Prime.
Like, we're just teasing you guys. Now in development, no release date.
Exactly.
So that's all they really get.
It's just an idea.
Yeah.
But my thing is, they're big games that I'm surprised they didn't make a sequel or, they're making some downloaded content. Is they of course. Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8.
It's already out.
It's out.
Yeah, it's already out for Switch.
Some, I think maybe like a bonus stage or something on it. But there's no brawl. I wish there was a new modern brawl on it. I wish there was some more kind of stuff there.
I'm sure that's all coming out. It's just the last brawl is still super popular.
Yeah,
for the one for the Wii, with the Wii U, it's that could be an easy port, but I don't see why they would need a new one necessarily just for the Switch. Especially considering like that was never about the graphics.
Exactly. Another game that they're coming out with DLC content, and that way you don't get a chance to pick it up and play again, is Zelda.
They're doing a DLC package for it. Several actually.
Costumes. Yeah. I think maybe expanding some maps. Some of course some other bosses. So you're not just done with the game, because we have my sister-in-law, your wife. She beat the game. Yeah. And she's like, I'm done now.
Now she just went on to a new redheaded game. What is it called? Horizon Zero Dawn. So she found something new.
So I'm glad she's done, but I think she might pick up Zelda again, because that's the part she was wondering. I'm like, so am I gonna get do I continue where I left off from after beating Ganon, or well, that's the thing. You got to explore, find out, play it out.
Yeah, this is a full-on Kirby game. It's not Kirby Yarn. Mm-hmm. It's an actual Kirby game with all these different powers. So this I like a little better than Kirby Yarn. Kirby Yarn was always super easy and very toddler friendly.
Oh yeah.
It was very much designed for the kids version of this, and this one seems much more like the older version. Like, oh, you get a couple shots, you can kill everybody. Different powers are necessary to get through different obstacles. So there's a level of challenge there.
Now there looks like there's team play, co-op play.
Yeah.
So like in order for you to be able to get to another part of the stage, you have to work together. Like one will block. In this case, a video that we're showing, block the flow of water. So one has to block the water while the other one goes by.
Yeah, the powers are very much like environmental effects as well. Although the gameplay itself is still very side-scrolly, it can still be fun. I mean, you just haven't seen a fun Kirby game in a while, and so people were excited for it.
And that's the thing about Nintendo; they need to tap on the fun. But one thing, real quick, that I don't know if you got to see the trailer for, it was during the Ubisoft presentation. They are making a kind of crossover game, if you will. Are you familiar with the Rabbids?
Rabbids, yeah. Mario versus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which has also been dubbed XCOM for Nintendo.
Exactly. That's why I wasn't sure. I'm like, all right, the Rabbids are usually, at least with me, I'm used to seeing them on different consoles. Yeah. So to see them kind of, cross over and with like Mario characters, I'm like, what's going on?
It's some interesting, contract negotiation there for character copyright crossovers.
But that's the thing you realize. That's what you have to do now. You have to cross over your medias to find out, to expand your universe.
Yeah, they're basically long-eared minions.
Yeah, bunny minions in their way. And, it's equivalent to, obviously, the Minions or the Little Green Men or what have you, Flying Monkeys for the chick from The Wizard of Oz. But it looks fine. It's pretty much Mario being Mario, but he has this weird, almost like projector kind of gauntlet style.
Oh, I just thought he stole it from. I thought he stole it from. What's the guy's name?
Mega Man.
Mega Man, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a booster.
Blaster.
So that's why I wasn't sure exactly what the game consists of, like what the levels were going to be at.
Yeah, no, it's just tactical fighting. Like, oh, you put them in different spots. They fight these guys. Mm-hmm. So like it's like XCOM, which is a strategy like alien shooter thing.
So I feel, especially since this game came out, I feel like if they eventually do make another Brawl, you're going to see the Rabbids as a playable character.
Yeah, probably. It was nice that Princess Peach finally got a weapon and she just wasn't going to be saved. But
or the whole
very,
thing
very cute looking.
Or her with the umbrella. And that was her like weapon of choice or whatnot in the consoles. But it looks fun. It looks fun. We'll see when it actually comes out. But I'm glad they're doing some other things. Maybe just waiting for more universes to happen eventually. And
we'll see. You're right. That was definitely exciting to see. Nothing really super exciting outside those few announcements in Nintendo, though. Sony had some nice stuff, though.
Yeah.
That I thought was really cool. Days Gone was probably my favorite, though. Just as a zombie survival game, this one kind of took it up a notch. You had environmental effects. You didn't have to kill the zombies. You could actually sneak past them. You could create distractions for not just the zombies, but like other human players, because they were as dangerous to your character as the zombies. Yeah. You could lead them into traps. And of course, a really good storyline is always super important for these kind of games.
Of course.
And so, Days Gone to me was probably the one I was most excited about. As long as they deliver on their promises, then I think that it will be cool. Anything in any of those trailers that you thought were cool besides that one?
Let me just name the games, then I'll comment, because I some of them I just saw and I kind of could care less.
Okay, so name them all.
Days Gone.
Yep.
Loved it. It was really good. I can't wait to see it. Uncharted. So it's pretty much Uncharted.
Lady Cell.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Don't get me confused. Don't get it confused with Sony's version of Tomb Raider. But it's pretty much what it is. Their version of Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Colossus is actually they're gonna remake of it, so
Yeah.
it's going to be updated. So if you played it for I think it came out for the
That
PS2.
got a pretty good a round of applause from the audience. It's a very popular game.
It was a fun game. It was a fun game.
It's very nostalgic for people.
Exactly. So that did really well. Monster Hunter World was interesting to me. I've heard of Monster Hunter, but I personally have never really played it.
No, you couldn't. It has very rarely been ported into the States. It's very much a Japanese-centric, Asian-centric, very popular game there. Because it's a lot of grinding, and a lot of Americans just aren't into it for the sake of a new weapon or armor and stuff. And so they just haven't thought it'd be popular enough. But I guess they're changing their mind for this time because I'm excited to see it as well.
Yeah. At least for the Sony console, this is the only reason one of the reasons I would want to pick up a Sony myself is of course God of War.
God of War, yeah,
God of War looked
fun,
amazing.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I guess he does not have, at least from what I saw, his blade chain things wrapped around him.
Yes, if this felt a little older, he felt a little old man Logan.
Yeah, with the kid.
Yeah,
with the kid. He has a son.
So there's ripping plot lines out of Marvel.
Yeah. So pretty much a storyline. So it interests me. In this case, I think it deals more with Nordic lore about their frost giant whatever kind of bad guys.
Yes,
things.
And they've gone through the Greeks, the Romans, and now they're going with Norse mythology.
Yeah, so eventually we'll cross over the sea and start battling Native Americans.
Hey, equal opportunity god killer.
I'm gonna kill everyone. Fuck them.
All the gods.
Detroit. Now Detroit was kind of interesting. It was like reminded me of those Telltale games.
It felt like a choose your own adventure.
Mm-hmm. So
it's robots.
Kill the guy, save the guy, use this, use that, and no matter what choice you go, you'll eventually.
You could actually go back. Well, what I liked about it was the fact that you could actually go back in time,
almost like
and make a different decision to see where the plot went that was different.
Yeah.
And I like that idea of like, oh, you can. Because we would do it anyways if we had save files.
Oh yeah,
just go back and like, oh, okay, that was a cool ending for that story. What happens if I just go back to my save point? In this case, they incorporated that as a game mechanic.
Yeah.
To go back in time, just like okay, and just make a different decision when the tree came up. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
So but of course, the one that was amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you like Spider-Man? Was the last one?
Oh my God, Spider-Man!
You like that one? Okay,
so good.
I was gonna say, if you had to choose only one of these games to play, which one would you choose?
Spider-Man for sure. It'd kind of be between Spider-Man and God of War, only because I have played all the other God of War movies.
So I've never actually played. I mean, I never had a console that played God of War, so I never got into the franchise. I've seen the gameplay before.
It's fun. It's fun. It's very kind of honestly.
It looks like it's just action mashup, killing things.
Oh yeah, but eventually the storyline kind of gets you. At least to me, it kind of got into me. But Spider-Man, oh my God. I'm not too crazy, to be honest, about the costume, especially the white kind of like Spider-Man logo emblem and whatnot.
Well, I think they're trying to differentiate him from movie Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah, well, he's not exactly looking identically to the
it's one of those like Earth 32 Spider-Mans. Pretty
much. But you got to admit, it looks good. It's totally enhanced itself. I think this is Marvel, especially being a Sony exclusive, but Marvel's version of the equivalent to the Batman Arkham Asylum of the open world environment, and you could pretty much go beat up the bad guys and whatnot.
Well, he is swinging from trees and from buildings.
Yeah,
but that's been a staple of Spider-Man, like good Spider-Man games for a few years now, though.
But the whole concept is like all the alternative things you could do with the webbing. Because before, back in the day, it was you wrap up the guy or you would pull him towards you and you bust out a combo. Yeah. But nowadays you can literally hang him from like beams, as you can see. I love this awesome combo where you like punch the guy, looked like he kicked him off the building, but then shot out the web, brought him back in, did another combo, then eventually webbed him against the wall.
It looked like it was a trap almost. Like there was a laser on it. Yeah. That he set up in advance. So
exactly.
There's also some stealth mechanics here because you see those little yellow to red flashes of like them seeing him or not. So this game actually has stealth mechanics in addition to just beat 'em up options.
Yeah, and they didn't give too much detail on the storyline, but they did show Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
On the little cell phone video kind of deal. So there's not exactly like a tie-in like it's going to involve the Sinister Six or any specific kind of bad guy.
There's Wilson Fisk from prison.
Exactly.
Inside the trailer, there were I think some other big dudes in this trailer.
Just look like generic little like big bosses kind of deal. Like these guys with these abilities, never really seen them. But
they're power ups. Like
exactly.
mechanical weapons.
My thing that I kind of loved is this kind of like chase scene where it is one of those kind of
Did you like the cameo at the very end from Miles Morales?
yeah, that was the big thing that made me kind of like really happy, which I feel
Who's that guy?
I don't know
Bad guy.
No idea, but I feel like it's gonna be, if they didn't show Miles, I thought it would have been just like a skin alternative, like, oh, play as Miles or whatnot, depending on where it's gonna go. I wonder if it's voiced by Donald Glover. I think he did. I think he was connected to it somewhat.
No, I think you're actually right. He's somewhere in there. He might be Miles Morales.
Yeah. So the game
in this game
fun.
as well.
I
But yeah,
that.
looks fun. You're absolutely right. Might be something to pick up when it comes out. For me, the one I kind of liked the best was going to be Days Gone. Second coming would be Monster Hunter World, which is just a game that I've been looking forward to playing for like decades since I first saw it. Like, who doesn't like the idea of just battling these huge monsters and then using them for resources to make yourself more powerful? I'm like, that seems fun to me. I like crafting and I like killing monsters, so it kind of works for me on that level.
I like the little kind of joke towards the end that he eventually had these weird mechanical machine that eventually just opened up and just became a
spit.
Yeah, just to cook his meat. So it was fun. It looked fun, but Sony definitely Spider-Man. That's why I think they waited for
that's the one game you had to play. There you go. But I guess first you'd have to get a PS4 or something, right? Christmas gift?
Leaning. Once again, I have physical and digital dust on games that I have not touched.
Doesn't mean you can't enjoy other games.
It's because of the little one.
And the Night Job, the new kid, all those things, man. I'm sorry. I'll play all these extra games just for you.
Play it for me. Let me know what it's like.
Yeah. Okay. So a few games that from other companies. We're just kind of mashing the ones we like together. Assassin's Creed Origins, Beyond Good and Evil 2 was all showed off. South Park, The Phone Destroyer.
Yeah, I missed that one. I didn't really catch it.
Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. We saw that already. Yeah. Doom VR was kind of cool looking. Skyrim on the Switch and Skyrim VR as well. Yeah. Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, which will be the next in the Dishonored franchise, and also Wolfenstein 2, The Colossus. Any of these that you found interesting?
You know what? I totally missed the Phone Destroyer. What is it, like an app
game?
Game?
It's a phone game. Yeah, it's basically South Park for your phone.
Oh, okay. Because I know they were coming out with the Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
And of course I talked about the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I did download the story mode on it. Pretty much it's like a little sampler, like almost demo-ish. A couple of the games. A couple of the characters. Yeah. You test abilities. Very basic. Honestly, almost like any little kid can play it. I felt like if there's so much potential to be forced into such a little screen to do 2D fighting, is like, man. And once again, the lack of characters. I felt like, there's no X-Men in it.
I'm sure they're going to have DLC and just, you have to pay $1 or $2 for each new character you want to download, which is just them making side money on top of their regular money.
Seriously, because right now, for the basic game, it's about $60. Yep. And if you buy their exclusive whatever content one, you're paying almost $100 for the game.
$100 for some DLC they should give you for free. Basically, yeah. I think for the DLC, there's an, collector's edition of Assassin's Creed Origins, and for like another $100 you can get a small little necklace of like a bird skull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? That's the big exclusive for your collector's edition?
Yeah, compared to like Fallout where you actually get the Pip-Boy. The Pip-Boy was awesome.
That was an awesome
add-on. That was an awesome
yeah.
Unless it's like full on old made out of gold kind of thing.
Yeah, just solid gold.
Exactly.
It's an eagle with like a gold beak tooth or something.
Seriously, but I saw the Assassin's Creed. It's pretty much the Egyptian version of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
You can you even semi-play as the bird flying over to kind of get like bird's view, literally bird's eye view of the map before you travel on that way.
Assassin's Creed looks the same to me. Like, it wasn't different. The only thing I saw was different was that there's no mini map in the gameplay, so you have to basically go by landmarks in the game, or maybe they're going to have like a new system where they just tell you this is a little marker for you to decide how you get there or not. But of all these ones, nothing was really super exciting. I love the VR features, though. I love Doom VR. I like Skyrim VR. Especially, there's a ton of new things for PlayStation VR, including these games.
That's what I was waiting for.
That was fun. That was fun to me. Like, PlayStation is making a bigger play for virtual reality than Microsoft, who's supposed to have the better console at this point. You know what I mean? That seems a little weird to me, but PlayStation sort of had a head start with the PlayStation Move. Like, they sort of had the equipment already, and now they're upgrading it. And getting a bunch of content. So I'm like, oh, good for them.
Yeah, I'm hoping next year they concentrate on games because you got your good consoles out now.
Yeah.
Your consoles are out. You're done with your consoles. There's no reason.
And again, a lot of these are for next year, which
Yeah.
is more like, oh, great. Thanks for telling us about this for the stuff that's coming out in 2018, guys. Way to make Christmas awesome.
Bust out some games. Rockstar, Capcom, come on. You guys have the
games take a long time to develop. You can't have a wonderful slate every year, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that, but they could have at least, once again, like DLC content, improve whatever they already have, or at least bust out the mini stuff. And of course, obviously South Park is going that route. Take advantage of the phones and bust out some app stuff.
Yeah, South Park seems like it was made, as far as like graphically, made for phones. Mm-hmm. Why not? And Nintendo Switch is a great platform for mobile games as well, because it's an on-the-go system, not just the screen stuff.
Yeah, other than ARMS, I think that's coming out around the same time with Mario Odyssey. That's the only kind of new game.
Yeah, I think Mario Odyssey is going to be the one to foreshadow. Like, it's going to, in October, it'll take the place of Legend of the Zelda game as like the big name title, and then that'll give people enough of a taste, something new for the next couple months until Kirby comes out, until there's other Nintendo titles come out in 2018.
The only thing that I saw game wise that's going to come out, they are making a Mega Man second edition collection of I think it's like 6 through 10 if I'm correct. But I'm still waiting for the Mega Man X collection. It exists. It's out for the PlayStation 2, but they haven't brought it back to the current consoles.
Yep. Okay, but that's about it for our E3 rundown of all the great games that came out. If there's anything you think we missed, you can always shoot us an email at feedback@geekbytespodcast.com. Yeah. We're always happy to hear from you folks. So you can just shout us a line in the chat room or on our Facebook page as well. Always happy to hear from you folks who are listening and watching. We thank you very much for doing so. That's it for the show. For Geek Bytes Podcast, I'm Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo. And of course, don't forget to support us at geekbytespodcast.com
It's
/support.
like the only thing he gets to say, so he wants to make sure that he gets to say
I gotta put it in, put my words in. But yeah, drop us a line anytime. Drop a couple shekels, show some love. But, this week, other movies that I've seen, I heard The Mummy flopped.
Well, here it did. Internationally, apparently it's doing really well. But in the U.S., it did not do so awesome. It went up against Wonder Woman. So it's not a huge surprise that it didn't do as well.
I'm watching a version of Wonder Woman right now, so quality but so far pretty good.
Is this the porn edition that it's
no, not the parody, of like this isn't.
This
Wonder
is not
Woman.
your Wonder Woman,
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm watching it so far. I'm pretty good. I didn't get to finish it yet, but I did see Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
I liked it. I just felt like could have been better.
See, that's what I feel about all those Pirates movies. Like, this seems like it could be something, but it sucks.
It's true. But of course, in a matter of weeks, Spider-Man: Homecoming will be coming out. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That one looks genuinely fun and interesting. I've stopped watching the TV spots and trailers intentionally because I'm like, they're spoiling too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would like to enjoy some surprises in that film. And even if it's going to be more of a teen thing, why not? I'm like, it's okay. Yeah. But that's it for the show. Thanks everyone. Hang out. I'm Mejia. Remember to go geek out about some stuff.
Yeah. Enjoy your Father's Day, everybody. Hey, whatever. See those photos? Oh, I didn't see the